So last night I went and watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and in today's video I kind of want to talk about the movie and stuff, kind of what I liked, what I didn't like, and give it overall just a base review and rate it out of 10. So Guardians of the Galaxy 3, for a little bit of context, is my first ever Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I've not seen any Guardians of the Galaxy before this. I haven't seen the first one, nor I haven't seen the second one. The third one being my first one, I still understand what was going on throughout the movie. I didn't have to like scratch my head like, oh, what happened in this and that. No. Even with me not watching that first and second one, I still understand what was happening in the movie, and I think that's a really great thing for the movie. Like casual viewers like myself and casual, I guess, Marvel fans, I guess myself, didn't have to watch like a full YouTube video to understand what's going on. You know, it was kind of, the story was right there in the movie and you just follow the story. You know, it's kind of like your movie, you know, basic movie thing where it's like, okay, you have a problem and you have to go fix it. And there's obviously some things that happen and that's it. You know, that's kind of basically every single movie, and this one was no different. Even with this one being no different, I still really enjoyed the movie. From the comic relief to all the characters, or the comedy relief, I guess you would say, to all the characters. I thought this movie was a pretty great movie from start to finish. I would definitely go watch it again if I had the opportunity and if I wanted to, or some friends invited me, yo, you want to see Guardians of the Galaxy again? I'd be like, sure, because I would watch it again. It was a pretty fun, pretty enjoyable movie, and I enjoyed it, man. I really did. But obviously, no movie's perfect, and there is some problems with this movie. Number one, the pacing. The pacing in this movie, for sure, sometimes goes over the walls. There's one scene where it's just all sad and like, oh man, you know, like that's tough. And then the next scene, like in a split second, it's like, okay, boom, happy again, making jokes. You know, I feel like the pacing in this movie was a little like, it was a little, you know, questionable. But even with the pacing being like that, it was still enjoyable, as I said. It's just a fun, enjoyable movie. That's the best way I could describe it, fun and enjoyable. And if you haven't watched it, definitely go check it out. I probably should have said this earlier in the video, but yes, this is going to be spoiler-free. Don't be worried. I will not drop any spoilers in this movie, just in case if you haven't watched it. But this movie's been out for a while now, so probably watching this video, you've probably seen it. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I would definitely recommend go check it out if you haven't checked it out yet. It's a fun and enjoyable movie. Action scenes were really, really good. Even though there's only a few, I mean, there is a few action scenes, and I definitely did expected probably a little bit more, but it's a, you know, it's a Marvel movie. You guys know mostly how Marvel movies go, but I still really enjoy this movie. There's a lot of cool scenes, a lot of, you know, great emotional scenes. It has it all, man. There's funny scenes, emotional scenes, crazy scenes, action scenes. They have it all in this movie. And this movie was no different from basically any other movie. But this movie was still enjoyable, from, as I said, the fighting action scenes to just storyline scenes to just everything. This movie was just, from start to finish, really, really good. So I have no problems with this movie except for the pacing. And sometimes, or another little complaint here, sometimes the comic relief or the comedy relief, I don't know why it says comic relief, but the comedy relief definitely does go overboard sometimes, because you be thinking, oh, it's a serious scene coming up, and then they start to make jokes and stuff like that, and it's like, okay, you know. But that's another thing, I guess you would say. I guess you want to say that's a minor complaint. That's kind of like my minor complaint, because I like movies where, you know, it's serious, like it's funny when it's supposed to be funny, and then it's serious when it's supposed to be serious. But sometimes you think it's like a serious scene, but they're just like cracking jokes or whatever. So I think that's kind of a Marvel problem, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, with me not even watching the first and second Guardians of the Galaxy movie, I still understood what was going on through the entire thing. So you don't have to watch the first two movies to understand. I think you probably have to know a little bit about Infinity War and an Endgame to know kind of what's going on in this movie, especially with the relationship between characters, because that kind of plays a minimal part in the movie. But overall, the movie was really enjoyable, and I would definitely go watch it again, man. With that being said, if you have not seen the movie yet, I would definitely recommend it. If you want something that's funny, cool action scenes, it basically has more. This movie literally has it all. Funny, sad, enjoyable, action. It literally has it all, man. And I think a lot of Marvel fans will agree that this is one of the better projects they dropped in a while, because Marvel after Endgame, all I've been seeing on the internet is just bad reviews, negative reviews. I know She-Hulk kind of got torn down, and a lot of other movies as well were kind of mid. But this movie, a lot of people are enjoying it and say they liked it, and I did too. I thought this was a pretty enjoyable movie. Definitely, I wouldn't say it's like a great movie, like 10 out of 10, like insane, but it was an above average movie. Average movies are, you know, okay, there's a problem, fix it, boom. But this one has more in it. Like, yeah, obviously the same thing is kind of with this movie, but this movie has it more. You know, there's more fluff, and not really fluff, but there's more just deeper and deeper just details, I guess you would say. There's just more about it, you know. There's more about it than just, okay, here's a problem, here's how we fix it. There's more to this movie, which I think bumps it up for me. And as I said, as somebody who doesn't really watch movies at all, well, I'm starting to, but someone who didn't watch the first two Guardians of the Galaxy nor any Avengers movie, I thought that this movie was still pretty good. So you don't have to know too much about Marvel to enjoy this movie. You could literally know nothing and you'll still find enjoyment in this movie. Just a really fun, really good movie with a lot of action scenes, a lot of powerful scenes. And overall, I would definitely go watch it again, as I said. And if I was to rate Guardians of the Galaxy 3 out of 10 for today's video, I would definitely rate the movie, I would say a solid 8 out of 10. I think it's an 8 out of 10 movie from what I first seen it. I think 8 out of 10 is a good rating to give this movie because, as I said, it isn't the best movie of all time, but it isn't like the worst. The pacing is a little questionable, but it isn't as bad as other superhero movies. The pacing, sure, was a little quick, but it wasn't as bad. And the comedy reliefs are pretty good, except for sometimes. And, you know, it's not a perfect movie. You know, without a doubt, it's not a perfect movie. But I just enjoyed this movie from start to finish. And James Gunn just wrote another masterpiece. Let's hope The Flash is just as good as this, or even better. I have kind of high hopes for The Flash, so I'm definitely going to be checking that out and making a video for you guys once that comes around. But if you guys enjoyed today's video, let me know by dropping a like on the video and subscribe if you are brand new. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was a really enjoyable movie that I'll definitely go watch again. And you guys should go watch it too if you haven't seen it. Why not? Just enjoyable movie. If you have nothing to do with your friends or just have nothing to do in general, just go check it out, man. Go hit your local movie theaters and check it out. Just a pretty fun, not sponsored by the way, okay? Don't think I'm sponsored. But it was a fun movie that I will go watch again. So that being said, guys, it's been Dan. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later.